it's Erica. Welcome to another edition of the Road to Respect video blog. You know, with new technology comes new terminology. Well, today I've got new terminology to share with you. Have you heard of the word sexting? Do you know what sexting is? Well, I wasn't too sure what it was either until I read a case, a complaint that had been put forward to the BC Human Rights Tribunal, which is the adjudication body that listens or hears complaints of discrimination and harassment here in British Columbia. Now, this was a complaint that was filed by a woman who worked in a manufacturing environment, and she drove a truck. She reported to one of the owners of the company, a male, and she had, after she started working there, started to have a relationship with this person. They went out and they had in law what's called a consensual sexual relationship, a relationship that they agreed to have. Well, after some time, the relationship broke up and she decided she didn't want to go out with him anymore. Unfortunately, he wasn't that happy with that outcome. And what he decided to do was to try and encourage her to continue to go out with him. And the way he did this was by sending her text messages. And when it was pretty clear that she didn't want to go out with him anymore, he continued sending her text messages, but unfortunately the tone of those messages became what we would, most of us reasonable people, would consider offensive. He used words that are inappropriate, that start with the letter B and C, words I don't want to use here. He would send her text messages and say, oh, he really wanted a BJ, and he was talking about parts of her body, and he even said he wanted to have sex with her daughter. Now, every time she got one of these text messages, she said, hey, I don't want you to text me. This is inappropriate. This is not right. Please don't do this. At one point, she offered to get together with him so that they could resolve whatever the outstanding problem was. And that didn't work. She got so desperate, she even made up a boyfriend, and she said, stop texting me. My boyfriend is reading these, and he's really upset. This was a phantasmical boyfriend, but she was really desperate to get this guy to stop. Well, he didn't. But eventually, he did, as a result of her filing a human rights complaint. And what the tribunal found was that although they had a consensual relationship, when the relationship was over, and she said to him, I don't want to have a relationship with you anymore, and he continued texting her and then texting her with inappropriate language that made her feel uncomfortable, made her not want to go to work, made her afraid of what she might encounter, then that created an unwelcome, hostile environment for her at work. And in fact, those texts constituted sexual harassment. So what's the takeaway or the tip for you in this edition of the Road to Respect vlog? Well, it's quite simple. If you have, and hopefully you do, a harassment or human rights discrimination policy, make sure that your policy is explicit, talking about emails and text messages and the importance of employees not sending emails or text messages that other people could find offensive or inappropriate. The other thing you want to make sure is that you talk to people about the appropriateness of using technology and how technology needs to be used in a manner that is respectful. Now, of course, if you need help dealing with any of these things, you know who to call. That would be me. And the contact information is coming just at the end of this edition of this vlog. Take care and see you next time.